the Ascendant Lands. Last time we left off, you guys have managed to recruit a handful of allies to your side, and after some negotiations, managed to get on the road where, um, after a quiet night for you all, and perhaps a a practice run of a counter ambush. During the next morning, you on the road, you heard the sound of a fight going on, and by when you finally came across the battlefield, you Turygurtha witnessed that a tiefling shepherding the rest of the gnolls through a teleportation circle saw Turygurtha and waved very smugly before they two stepped through the teleportation circle. What was left before you is a field of dead bodies, uh, the dead horse, the cart that was left over, the bodies of the travelers, along with two of the guards, all dead and picked clean of weapons. Armor is left behind, and there are aspects of their bodies bitten away and chewed, and as you see bits of bone coming through, and you see gnaw marks on the bone of the bodies. It's a fairly grotesque scene, but well, for the reputation of the Gnolls, this is quite mundane potentially. As Thoradin flashes us.
Yeah, for God's sake, now get a piece of blue tack.
So yeah, as we left off, you guys have just come across that scene, and it is up to you now to decide how you want to go about it. Do you want to pick through and understand what happened, or try and investigate some more? It's completely up to you.
I think it's worth investigating.
Yeah, Krusk will get out. I think he's gonna like say like a little funeral rite type thing, for all the dead people since they were eaten horribly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll just
I'll
I'll take
shut
out my
the
sword
door.
and I'll just use the sword to like say something nice.
Does anything here give away anything useful about, I don't know, how they fight or anything like that? Whether they use a particular, I don't know, if they use poisons or, I don't know, have an affinity for a certain type of magic or what have you. Anything that could be useful to gain knowledge of beforehand.
Makes sense. And then we're going to have to do something about the bodies, or they'll rise as undead. You said they teleported out, Turi.
Thury's like stood at the scene, just kind of looking on it.
Oh, right, fair enough.
Yeah. They he waved. He waved and smiled as he
Sick
just
bastard.
ran through the portal.
Smug bastard.
Sick, I was saying.
That too.
Did he have any kind of markings or anything? Was he just like tattoos, cult symbols?
I just caught that he was like a tiefling with a flute, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
I don't know.
You
He
said
was
a tiefling with the flu for a second there.
he was sneezing. A real lot of
Yeah,
snot coming
exactly
down his
right.
nose. Didn't look like he was feeling too well. I think we could take him.
You should do a COVID test.
Sorry. He had a flute, some horns, reddish skin. I can't give you much more than that. He was pretty far away.
Weird.
Well, if he saw you, Turi, you won't be able to lure him in now. He'll be
No,
watching out for you.
no. I'm not very helpful at this point for the surprise scene.
Do we think he saw any of the rest of us?
No.
Well,
I was
obviously.
pretty far ahead at the time. I think he just saw me.
Did you get the feeling like he knew you, or do you think he was just kind of like,
Being a twat.
yeah?
I don't know.
It's very smug.
He did look very,
Looks
very
smug.
smug. Did it? any like, I guess any recognition from Turi's past or anything? No. I've
Well,
never.
you've seen tieflings before.
Yeah, but specifically this one. Look, I've never seen him before. I don't think
He looked
he was.
smug, though. Smug
He did
because
look
he's
smug,
lured us out, or smug
but
just because he's got away with eating people.
I think probably the getting away is why he was smug.
Mm.
But
If
you
somebody's
never know.
chasing after you and you can flip them off and vanish, then
I mean, I was pushing myself, so he did see me try. That's probably why he was looking smug.
Maybe it's like when, someone's running to eat the last piece of cake and you instead eat that piece of cake.
not the
Is-
best metaphor right now.
Is that a thing,
Talari.
Talari?
I don't know.
Do people do that?
I've seen people do it. you know.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cruel. Pretty cruel.
Yeah, well, when you're in a
Right,
place
so
where
one
there's
smug
always,
bastard tiefling, bunch of teleporting gnolls.
Mhm.
I mean, I guess this doesn't change too much about our plan. We should still head kind of like north or around this area. And
do we want to speak with any of the dead to glean any information?
I think if anyone's worth talking to for strategy, it should be the gods.
That makes sense.
On the other hand, you can save your magic, and we can do the thing by eye. Things like what weapons they've used, where they came from.
I mean, there's no reason to not do both.
yeah,
Wait,
I think
Mate.
it's worth speaking with the guard. We can apologize as well for not getting here in time.
I think that's fair.
Matt,
So
how long do the bodies look to have been dead?
If you poke around, the last person to have died probably in 5 minutes.
I'm trying to get a judgment on how long this raid took. Like, do
What's
you want me
the
to...
oldest dead body here, and how old is that one?
6 minutes and 4
Yeah.
minutes.
yeah, just
Yeah,
a
trying to
massacre.
get gonna have a look around, trying to get, trying to work out roughly when the raid started, because we've been on the road for like an hour or so. You said.
Yes, an hour or so.
Okay, but yeah, gonna have a look around and see if I can work out when it started and possibly where it started as well.
Okay, roll an investigation check for me, please.
Investigation, but that's only a 10.
Okay, so using this map that was so
Yep.
usefully put. So the where it originated is probably up the top here, similar to where the teleportation circle, the last remnants of magic of the teleportation circle, is here as well. So it started in that like top right hand corner, and the more you walk through and pick through the field, you see elements of tiny holes that look like had something in them and then pulled out rapidly.
Arrows.
Like a stabbing weapon.
Something smaller. Something that probably came from a height and then landed in the ground and then was pulled out of the ground. The youngest body to have died, so the body that died most recently, that's the right phrasing, the body that died most recently died around 5 minutes ago.
Right.
And you can see elements of that they might have had like a leather like belt that had stuff on it, but it was like ripped off, and so that the buckle is just right next to the body. Anything they might have had in the hand is ripped from the hand. Armor,
What about
clothes.
Yeah. What about the oldest?
Oldest looks to be one of the guards,
Like the
probably
first to
around.
die.
Yeah, one of the guards probably the first to die. Probably within around 10, 15 minutes ago, maybe.
Pretty much what I expected. Yeah, they got killed pretty quick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
take out the
fast,
guards first. The
ended.
rest,
When
yeah.
Were they still Were they still encamped when they were attacked?
Looked like that, yeah.
But we waited for dawn, then we waited a bit more just to see if we would get ambushed, and then we travelled for an hour.
We got up early, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, but we got up early and then waited around for ages because we got up early, so we weren't caught sleeping.
Good point.
This is late.
Yeah, it's just like
Later than we've
10
been
a.m.?
told they usually attack.
Well, we were just told morning, right? So we weren't told like a specific time.
We were told early.
We were told
morning.
dawn. Yeah.
They attacked
Oh,
at dawn.
okay.
So that's interesting. So there's no
Well,
necessary pattern, which does not bode well.
Well, it must depend where the victims are, I guess, right? Because they can't always be exactly at dawn. If they're using these teleport circles, maybe it's the time it takes from them. Well, these guys are close to a circle.
How many
actually.
bodies did you say were here?
like half
10 total.
If we go to the if Turi goes to the actual like where she saw them teleport out and where it seems to like originate the attack, is there a teleportation circle there, or is there just like I don't know arcane scorch marks that are left from just a one-time teleportation circle?
The Bifrost.
Yeah.
It's very much like the remnant of the teleportation circle. So you can see like the last little
suddenly vanish. Yeah.
last little bits of chalk that were drawn down on the ground.
So it's not necessarily like a permanent one. Okay. So it doesn't look like they have permanent spots and they have to travel from there. Maybe they don't.
To see where they came in as well, because you said, Matt, you said that I could see that they'd all sort of appeared at a certain place as well.
Yeah, so if you track further to the top right end of the map, you can see like their marching order.
So did they march in and teleport out?
Yes.
Oh, okay, they marched in. Then
Oh,
I
okay,
was
so
gonna
that-
say,
yeah,
they
that
had
So
kinda
you can
explains it
see
then.
how they came in from the top right, and they teleported just around from where they congregated. So they'd like laid in wait almost, and then like
laid in
came
wait
up
till they
on.
were off guard, and then.
Okay, so with
Wait a
wherever they
minute.
go and wherever they come in, they wait. Or they
Talari,
travel
if you
then
need
wait.
to teleport somewhere, you have to have been there, don't you?
Or at least have a general like good idea of where something is. Or
So
if,
they can't.
or if you know if it's specifically teleportation circle, as long as you know the magical frequency of where your destination is, then you can teleport there. You don't necessarily have to have been there.
In this case, they couldn't just pop up in the middle of the camp because it's probable they haven't been to every possible camping spot along this entire road just in case.
Correct, but they have been concentrating their attacks in a local area. So maybe they have for this local area.
No, and then they can teleport back to wherever they're staying.
I mean, this is a crossroads.
have
After
to
we are
march
near a crossroads, so we're going to get a lot of through traffic. I mean, if you're going to raid people, that's the best place, the place they have to be.
So they're just raiding whatever people that they come across on the road while they're marching, and then when they're done, they teleport back home, lie in wait, rest, come back, do it in the
Out
morning.
again the next night.
Maybe it takes them longer depending on how many people are being encamped. I mean, there's 10 people here. It's quite a lot. Most people probably would be traveling 3 or 4 of them at most.
Well, that's a good point. There's 10 people. They killed them in the space of 5-ish minutes, and then they routed the bodies in less than 5-ish minutes.
So maybe they took longer because they needed a bigger force. Possibly.
Did they look like they rubbed the bodies, Matt, or were they just eating them? They did rub them. Okay.
Yeah.
They robbed them, yeah.
Okay.
How many did you say there were, Terry?
Dear Moss General Matt, I love you so much. How many?
You probably by the time you got
It would have been a general number, I imagine, but
I thought you just
you
saw the
probably
tiefling or
saw
something.
you
but-
probably saw about 9 gnolls running into teleportation circle, and then the tiefling spotted you at the last thing and waved before you went in.
Exactly way more than
I
9.
saw 9
There
marching
might have
in
been more.
as the flute player was
Well,
running in, but I don't know. There could have been more in front of them.
we've got a
Was it
trail.
9 like
Alphas.
Not like normal gnolls, were they like more elite people? Yeah.
They
Was there a bloody great demon with them?
Yeah, was
they
it just lower down gnolls or?
they just look like normal gnolls, but they were in formation, which I don't think is very gnoll-like. But I'm not sure.
Oh, we've got a trail. We could track
Hey,
them back.
you sword person, sword seller person.
Well,
I've
that's
forgotten
me.
your names. Yep, whichever one you are.
I'm Vorag, that Sorcerer.
Yeah,
You know,
Vorbag. Yeah,
I'm
you.
They're not going to
it's
join
just-
us if you get their names wrong.
Vorag.
sorry.
Vorag.
It's really hard with the accent. Vorag. Yeah. Okay.
Close enough.
Yeah. Gnolls. Do they have a pattern? You like the way you describe them. They are beasts become warriors. So it doesn't sound to me like they would have marching formations.
I could do, I guess. I mean, they might not be mighty smart, but if they're being organized by that tiefling you saw, maybe they could string about a marching order, perhaps.
No, but of their own mind, of their own volition, or do you think possibly mind control would need to be in this? Come on, you're my expert right
Well,
now.
how many you saw? You said 9?
9, yeah. I mean,
I
there
don't
could
know.
have been more.
I don't know about you. I find it very difficult to control my own mind, let alone the minds of 9 others. Whew. My lord, that'd be mighty difficult.
Terry, don't be daft. You don't need mind control to teach somebody to run next to somebody else. I mean, you can teach an actual dog that.
I don't know.
I mean,
These are
some-
gnolls.
Seem
This is
proficient
entirely
to
new
get a
territory
food.
for me.
Do
I
gnolls
mean-
like flute music normally? Probably not.
I mean, creatures are known to travel in packs. You know, wolves like over here. So there's no, and they
Well-
hunt in packs. So it would make stand to reason that even if these were originally hyenas, that they could do something similar.
It's a fair point.
And all they did when they gained their humanoid form was just more intelligence.
That's
Okay,
right. You
so
know, good will do his best to make sure his people can fight at least.
Being
So
able
I
to work
wonder-
together does make a fighting force more effective.
if it's not, maybe it's not the bard controlling them, but the bard just simply leading them. If that's the case, then maybe this bard is something to do with this what did you say? The Gnoll person, the Gnoll god person.
Demon
You
dog.
know, good.
He no good. See again,
It's
accent.
easy
really-
to remember, okay? Ye no good, because he no good.
Oh, that's pretty
Easy
good.
to remember.
Okay,
Ye no good.
you know good. Okay, I like it. That's great.
You
Okay.
know, we could do with someone like you around long term. You know, if you're interested. I'm just saying.
Krusk,
To
As long
find
as you
out these
keep
kinds
paying
of
me.
helpful mnemonics and stuff. No.
Krusk, this is a group.
We need your help with diction.
There's a vacancy at the moment, yeah.
Oh dear.
Krusk,
If
look at
somebody
me.
needs the party brain cell, and at the moment it's the NPCs.
If this is the Justice Collective, it's a democracy. All right, you don't just start inviting people.
Okay, what's our next steps then? So
We've got a trail. We can backtrack them.
I think if we can backtrack them, that's worth doing.
We can try.
I'm not spent in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I've
it's
run
early
a
morning,
little bit,
so
but
should we track it back? And if it doesn't lead anywhere, we just continue north and set up camp again.
agreed.
First, we've got to do something about the bodies.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Or they're all rise as undead.
Gets to digging then. Who's got the shovel?
Build a cairn, probably rather than dig a hole, but yeah.
I mean,
You can burn them, yeah.
just gonna look at the cell swords. Look, we've dealt with a lot of undead recently. You probably have too. You know, I don't want to
Not
assume.
my first rodeo.
Yep. Okay. So we kind of need to, unfortunately, separate the heads from the bodies.
You do know you just burn them, right? That's a bit grotesque. Even
Cut
Not
their
even
heads off
the-
is easier.
I
Not
mean,
even-
It does feel
These
kind of
people-
it's
disrespectful.
easier to just burn the heads
People
off.
died.
That's all. I mean, you're pretty moral for a sellsword, but you know, just
Gold is not willing to wear my morals, cancer. It definitely has not.
okay.
I would like to
No.
try. If I was a dog, like if you weren't going to revive me, I would at least like to be a bit dignity in death.
Okay, easy,
Look
buddy.
at all y'all.
Is there a shorter, like looking around? Is there a shorter way? I mean, look, Talari, you're a cleric now. Can't you kind of just like pray or something? I don't know.
I can fireball them all.
I don't know what you exactly.
Krusk,
It also feels a bit
No.
disrespectful.
we're trying to look at the moral way of doing this.
Let's just line them all up, and then we'll just get some wood sticks over them, get some wood sticks under them, set a fire, and then once it gets going nice and hot, it's fine. It'll keep going, and they'll be sorted. That'll do the trick. Come on, it can't be your first rodeo.
While they're
I
cooking.
mean, no, I'm not saying that. I mean, we've burnt plenty of bodies. I'm just saying, collecting the wood, setting the fire, it's a lot of time.
Look where we are. We're in the middle of woods.
It's still
not gonna
more
be very
time than
difficult.
just removing a head from a body. You get what I'm saying,
We're
right?
going to do this. Shall we perhaps not spend any more time bloody well discussing it and get on with it?
How much time will it take to build like a big pyre though? Because we don't want to spend the whole day doing this.
It'll take about 10 minutes.
Oh,
They
okay,
line the
that's-
bodies up and get enough wood going, get enough
Okay.
wood in place for fire.
I mean,
Tori's like,
OC, I can safely tell you it would take a hell of a lot longer than that.
But
to
you've
do the fire
got
that we've got.
5, you got like 8 of you. So
Tori's
In a
half
like,
forest.
doing the bodies, half
No.
doing the wood.
Thoradin
I'm
can
pretty
just-
much 3 people. I'm an expert woodcutter right here.
Yeah,
He could just
Thoradin
chop
can
woods with
I
his
do it
hand,
myself.
like, you know.
You got
I
Methor
do
as
my
well.
hands,
Do it alone.
okay,
Method-
I'm
Method
going to
back.
do this quickly.
Method
Let's do
heavy.
it quickly. And Tori zooms off as fast as she can.
We should just let Thoradin do it.
She's a
yeah.
blur.
Yeah, can Thoradin with his lead hand just like punch down a tree? One punch it.
Or just snaps it in half, you know, just with his hands.
Can Tori just run things into Thoradin and him cut them as a
Like through Ninja, just
Yeah.
throwing wood at me instead.
A whole tree.
Oh, sick, yeah.
Sure. The Method will also take pleasure in cutting down a few trees in a similar fashion. So yeah, you take about 10 minutes for you all to get the bodies positioned correctly. Are you going to speak with dead at all, or are you happy to?
I mean, I still think we should.
You've got you've got the 10 minutes to do
Yeah.
so while other people are occupied.
So, just worth knowing, there are limitations with this spell. You're not exactly going to be able to have a full-blown conversation. Basically, the effects of the spell will probably last you for about 5 questions.
5 questions.
So, best
Who are you
to
saying this to?
everyone, like the group, you know.
Okay.
I thought we'd all buggered off to collect.
Well,
wood.
at the very least, like I don't know, Turi and Krusk, because she's not going to be able to ask this thing any questions. She doesn't know what to question or what to ask.
Well, you're the one
Turi-
asking the questions.
Tori
Cool,
starts collecting like wood and then soon realizes after seeing all the sellswords like hacking down trees and massive pieces of wood, all the twigs in her hand are useless. So she just comes back, drops them off as kindling, and stands by Talari.
Yeah,
Nice.
Krusk wouldn't have even bothered going because he knows that Thoradin can just handle it. To be honest.
Yeah, you're positioning the bodies, so you're moving them all around to get closer to do the bonfire. So you are in proximity.
Mm.
So Thoradin's not too far away, but everyone else is certainly capable of joining in. But yeah, with Speak with Dead, Talari, you are the person that you speak to. You channel the questions through you, and it will
Right.
answer to you. So another person can't jump in and ask a question. It all goes through you.
Fine, you can just. I mean, I'm going to want us to be the one that answers the questions, but you probably best come up with the idea of what questions you want to ask, and I will.
We'll
Repeat.
discuss through. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
We're just going to
Totally not a shit show. Just go for it.
We'll go for it then. Right. Okay then. All right. She'll just pick one of the. She'll pick one of the guards. Doesn't. I
Okay.
don't imagine it matters too greatly. Probably the one who was the freshest. The one who died later, somehow.
Sure.
You know, just because they probably have slightly more info. But yeah,
Sure.
but yeah,
Would
she'll
Talari literally be mouthing like, "Oh, "You're not fresh. You're not fresh."
Eeny, meeny,
You're the
miny, mo.
freshest.
You're
Yeah,
the freshest
you.
of them all.
yeah,
If you speak, let it so. Eeny, meeny, miny,
yeah.
mo.
And new verbal components for the
The
spell.
verbal components will speak with that.
Yeah.
It is written.
Right, so she casts it. So it said you grant a semblance of life. The
Mhm.
soul doesn't return to the body, so it's kind of just like it's just kind of there, and just sound is just coming out of it. Like it's almost like someone put a speaker in it, kind of thing, you know.
That's very morbid. Let's not make a habit of doing this.
I got
Yeah.
chills.
Uh,
Let's just I'm gonna just like turn him so he's like facing away from us. We don't want to see any weird.
I mean, Krusk, we need to understand them to return some background.
Krusk is gonna just like look like up at the sky.
Krusk.
Scared of dead.
I just feel let's just
We-
ask a
Cross,
question.
that's going to be you one day. Or already has. but-
Well,
Question-
private.
Questions?
We're
Describe what
really
happened.
sorry for not getting to you on time.
Wait, is he
That's-
alive, or are you just
that's-
asking us the questions?
No, I just want to,
Oh, okay.
you know.
This isn't. Only got that 10 minutes for this to.
All right, sorry.
Okay, first question: Can he describe what happened in detail?
Well, it's not good. Okay.
Covers everything.
I mean, you asked me to cast this spell pretty quickly, but they can only kind of give you brief.
Oh,
You
Okay,
know.
Krusk, how about this?
did all the Gnolls look the same? That's got to be one question, right? So we know if
That's a
there's
good
mix.
question. That's a good question.
Thank you.
Start with that one.
Do
And
all the Gnolls look? Did all the Gnolls that attacked
right,
you
okay.
look the same?
Yep. How many were there?
And how many were there?
Okay,
Wait,
I think
wait,
we need
wait,
to let
so-
him answer first. Come on, guys.
that's
I thought we were
that's two
brainstorming.
that's two
That's
questions.
two questions. Two questions. Yeah.
Well, I'll answer the first one.
Yep.
I'll let you wind back the second question
Okay.
until you get answer to the first one.
Yeah,
Okay.
come on, he might answer it without us.
No, you don't know. You won't get lucky this another time. Um, most Gnolls the same. One
Most of the
big
same.
Gnoll.
One big one. Okay.
And what could the flute player do? Did you see him?
I mean, the last one's probably gonna be like a waste of a. I guess the first one kind of canvas whether you saw him or not. You just, got to be careful. 5 questions.
Okay.
Sorry,
one of the questions.
but what was the flute player doing?
Okay.
Like, was they involved in the combat or were they
Good question.
hiding?
During the attack, what was the flute player doing?
Other than playing the flute.
Shh.
It's a good thing he doesn't pay attention to any ad libs.
Yeah. Probably why they built this into the spell.
The bastard saw him once, alerted us all. Never saw him again.
You warned them.
Then went with them. Weird.
No. He wanted to watch.
You'd think.
All right. How about this for a question? Did anybody say anything to you, and if so, what did they say? In case the flute guy like said something like "I'm here for this" or something like that.
I think probably the better question is, what was the warning?
Oh, sorry, I missed that. He said he warned them about
Yeah.
something.
He warned them about the Gnolls, and then he buggered off.
Wait, the flute player warned them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean.
Okay, yeah.
I don't.
What
I
was the
think he
warning? Yeah.
enjoys watching them
That's fucked up.
run in
The
fear.
phrasing is alerted.
He alerted them.
He alerted them.
Okay, so the flute player alerted them, and then he left with them. Okay.
So I just ask, like,
what did the flute player say?
how did he alert you?
Yeah. Let's find
Or
that out.
just
That's a good
yeah,
third
or
question.
just say
I think
what did
that's a
he?
fine third.
Yeah, what did he say?
How did he alert you?
Heard music. Then singing. Something about TJC.
The JC. So
Oh no!
so he was smug because he recognised Turi
Oh
and
god!
he knew that we were around.
Oh no!
It's
bastard.
Thoradin and the JC, but okay.
Oh my god, was it?
Oh
is
my
it
god!
actually?
No, we are
Okay.
the Justice
He's-
Collective.
No, did he say T is in Thoradin or T is in there?
Well, who knows?
I was-
I'm not asking that question. I'm not going to ask that
What
question.
clarification to make?
Thoradin wants to know. Thoradin wants to know.
You're
Okay,
you're
okay.
dropping cheese out with your bare hand. You're
Already
fine.
can't hear that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm not
Okay, we know they used arrows, and we know the flute player left. What we don't know is what they use close up.
The
Did
teeth?
they
I
just
thought they
fight
were all
claw
chewed up,
and tooth?
aren't
Yeah, but do they just fight claw and
Oh.
tooth, or do they have weapons
they? Hmm.
for melee combat?
Does that make much of a difference, though?
I mean, a bit, because if they only are using their claws and
I guess
their
they have
teeth,
magical
that's
weapons or something. It's
you
probably
know exactly. What if they're wielding one great hammer or one giant bright mace or axe, or maybe they're wielding a sword that took mood colors. You know, you want to know about these things.
it's only one of those.
I was going to
Maybe
think.
ask,
But I was thinking, like, did they seem like they were looking for something?
I think we already know that, right? If they
Do we?
if they mentioned our name, the JC.
Yeah, they were looking for us.
They mentioned us. They're looking for us.
Yeah.
TJC.
TJC.
They're,
TJC.
look,
Thoradin
they're
or-
looking for TJC, so they're either looking for Thoradin and the
Or
Justice
someone with
Collective,
really
or
coincidental initials?
the Justice Collective.
Yeah, it has to be us. Like, yeah, I think ask what are all the different weapons that they all used, sort of collectively.
Is that too much?
I'm trying to think
Okay.
of a more.
Okay, what
I was thinking
different
like gear. I
weapons
was
did
just
they-
saying, like, what gear were they using?
Yeah, what different gear
Yeah.
did you see?
What gear did the Gnolls have?
Yeah. What gear did the Gnolls have?
Spears. Shields, maybe.
Spears and shields. So we got
Okay.
one.
As,
All right, one more question.
as well as the
Hmm.
arrows, maybe.
We never said arrows.
Well, I mean,
No, that's from previous judgment.
Right.
yeah, you
Yeah,
tell
that's
on.
Matt
AKA,
sort of
AKA what we
implying it.
investigated.
Okay.
I mean, you only rolled a 10 on it.
No.
I did,
That's
in
fine.
fact, only roll a 10. It wasn't a very
How
good
many
investigation.
questions have we done? We've done
4.
But
Yeah,
one
we got
left.
one more. We
Okay.
always ask him how he's doing.
No.
Got it.
No. I was thinking. I thought you were going to say, like, what's his name? You know.
Is there anybody he wants us to talk to?
Oh my
on
God,
his
no.
behalf? Like
No.
that?
No.
So I think we should.
If we do that,
Um,
we'll have to do that for everyone.
Trying to think. I know, like, I don't know. Is it worth asking if they fought all at once or they became in waves, or is that not
They
really
would-
relevant?
I
No,
think it's
that's
not that important. They would have just
I-
swarmed them. I think.
yeah. I think I agree with Krusk.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of anything else.
He
Did they-
won't necessarily.
Did they
He
get the
won't
name of the tiefling? I don't know.
I don't think that. I think what did they take? But I don't think he was necessarily alive when they took it.
No.
I guess what were they carrying? Was it just treasures, or
Mm.
did they have something special on them?
We already asked
all
about
have.
the gear though. So
No,
I
no,
think
no.
he
As in, what were the guards and this traveling company carrying? Did they have anything particularly special? We have. Maybe they're after us because we have special weapons. Maybe they're after us because of our reputation.
they've been attacking a lot of people there, haven't they? So I don't think it would be something specific. I mean,
Thing
okay,
is, if
we've got-
they're hunting for us, they don't know if we're there until they're on them.
yeah,
So
I
maybe
feel
they're
like
they're
either-
literally attacking them all until and hope they find us.
I think they're either looking for us or they're trying to lure us out because they knew we'd like come after them, which they might, given our reputation. I think we should just ask him how he's doing. To be honest,
I think if we ask them what they were traveling with, we at least know what they've gained from destroying these people. Was it just money? Did they have a special weapon with them? Is he
Yeah.
then going to use that special weapon on us? That's
So-
the kind of thing.
So
Yeah.
if they had anything they think
just what was
anything
his car?
important,
What
like
were they
Yeah,
transporting?
what were they transporting?
yeah, okay, yeah. What were you transporting with you?
People, food,
Hmm.
goods, the usual.
Nothing special then.
That's it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pat the head. Thank you.
Try to close the eyes and they shoot open because
God,
it doesn't. Never mind. Never mind. You can
It's not in
rest
rigor
now.
mortis yet.
Sorry. Jump at the gun. He's only just died.
Well, suppose that sort of helped somewhat.
Well, we know a few things. We know their weapon. They're carrying weapons and shields. That
Mhm.
means they're partially protected. If they're in formation, they could maybe do a shield wall. Anything like that.
if
These
they
are
do
all
that,
strategies they might have.
just viable.
Yeah. In a world full of AoE
I hope
spells,
they do that.
you know.
that would be
Yeah.
amazing for me if they
The
did a
last
shield wall.
time enemies bunched up, it didn't go well for them, did it?
All
No.
I'm saying is they're armored, they're protected, and they have weapons. They're using spears and arrows, which means they have better reach than we do.
mean-
I think the most worrying thing for me is that, which we kind of suspected, that they were specifically after us.
I mean,
He's
could
a
we?
horned flute player.
Hmm.
Do we think this has anything to do with pain?
Possibly.
If you look at our activities over the last 3 months, I think most of it has something to do with that bastard.
A lot of
mean,
people don't like us though.
if-
the demons
yeah,
don't like
no,
us.
that's
I mean,
true, that's
if-
true.
Yeah, I
if
think
a
all
lot
of them
enemies-
eventually, all roads lead back to the same point, Krusk.
Yes. If they are searching for us specifically, well, that just works to our advantage.
That's
But
true.
What's better bait than the thing you're
Eventually
exactly
we'll come
after?
slap up against them.
We just
But
have
the
to make a
last-
big enough proclamation of where we are.
The last time we met one of Bane's specific, more specific servants, it was a demon. My question is this: is this a tiefling or is this a demon?
I don't know. You're the one that saw them.
They have a demon with
I
them.
mean, they
don't
look like a tiefling, but what if?
Go either way, couldn't it?
What if it's not just a tiefling? What if
tell
it
you
is
what.
a demon?
I mean,
Go
shape-shifting
give him a
exists.
kick and you'll probably find out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I don't
One
see
of the-
any way other way of us getting the fucking information.
Yeah, no, not
I mean,
unless.
If dragons can shapeshift, then I don't see why demons couldn't.
Be invisible and all that shit.
Exactly.
One other question then: do we shoot to kill with this tiefling guy, or are we going to try and capture him to question him?
What
He's
the-
out
Krusk,
for us.
if you want to try and capture him in the middle of a fucking battle with like a score of gnolls and a demon on your ass, then you can crack right on that.
But isn't Turi?
Open to the group. Do we think it's worth it?
I mean, doesn't Turi have to try and
Redeem him.
you know?
I have to as well, by the way.
Anyone
But I mean,
who acts like this can take their redemption and shove it.
I was
well, we
going
have
to
to
say,
offer it.
I
at
think
least.
there's a certain wisdom to it as well. We should be wise about this. That he has specifically gone out to destroy people with a pack of gnolls, and on top of all of that, he's specifically looking for us. I
mean, he-
think
Mm.
send me out as a way to lure him out, and that can be a conversation where I may offer redemption. But I'd rather have you all in the wings, ready to decimate him.
We can play it by ear.
than
But
not.
then, do we? So you want to kill him? You don't want to question him?
I think if we get the chance to question him, it will be during the fight. He was a smug fucker who smile while walking away into. I think he's going to tell us everything we want to know while
You
he's
think?
beating the shit out of us.
But if he doesn't, I just need to know in case I have the opportunity to shoot like a fireball or something. I just need to know.
You get the opportunity. Bloody well do it, because honestly, even if you did get to question him, I wouldn't trust a word that came out of his fucking mouth anyway.
Now, Krusk, we have, if for whatever reason he dies, and he doesn't, disintegrate, as some of the other demons did, we could choose to revive him. Possibly.
Or you're just speaking with dead spell.
Well, the problem with speaking with dead is if you were hostile towards that, they are under no compulsion to tell you anything. So if you are hostile towards the person that died, they can just refuse to tell you.
They can just answer your question with "fuck you," I suppose.
Basically, yes, they could. Yes.
What do you need to revive someone? Just their body.
Yes.
Build their body.
I just
Does it
need
need to be like? Okay.
I mean, as long as the body can survive, so if you chopped it into little pieces, it's probably not going to work when I revive them.
The thing I worry about with reviving him and keeping him alive for questioning is if he is a bard and the music is his way of magicking, then what's to stop him magicking his way out of whatever restraints we plan to put on him? I don't imagine we still have magical restraints.
There's also the fact that he's just gonna fucking lie. I would not trust a single word that came out of his mouth. I'm just gonna put that one out there again, because just because you've got somebody doesn't mean that they're going to tell you anything you want to know.
I mean, just gonna put this out there as well. What if he's just possessed?
There's a bigger tiefling playing a bigger flute.
Yeah, basically. What if he himself is a puppet?
The moon was made out of cheese. What's that got to do with
That's just silly, Nadia. That's just not.
Yeah, we've
been trying to have a serious conversation.
Okay, well,
shit about what if everybody's possessed? Like, you can't just go around.
What if this is all just a simulation?
Okay, don't even get there.
It's all make believe.
We don't even want to think about that kind of thing. Would make our entire lives meaningless.
That would be, and also that would be just a sick joke. I mean, who
Yeah,
would do this
who
for
would do
pleasure?
that? Now, what if, to get around those worries that we have, he's looking for us, we communicate a parlay of some sort.
How?
I don't know how. I'm just thinking. I'm putting words out for a second. But we communicate the parlay. A couple of us go out for conversation. We find out in that conversation very, very quickly if they're just going to try kill us.
Parlay?
Yeah, you will find out very quickly.
Considering
because 20 gnolls will turn up and fucking eat you.
Yeah.
That's a bad idea.
If
These guys
I
are a
go,
big threat as well. I don't think we should be.
But think about it this way: if me and Krusk go, Krusk can thunderstep us really far away, really quickly back to you guys, and then we can all ready ourselves for a battle that we're already planning on doing.
What's your range with thunderstep?
Sounds like a lot of extra steps to start cutting each other to pieces, honestly.
I can teleport 90 feet with it.
Think of it this way.
So I could run 30, so like 120, I guess, feet.
If they decide to attack us after both me and Krusk are there trying to do conversation, then surely both me and Krusk can just have at it. So none of us will be breaking our oaths, and on top of that, we figure out.
Matt put in the thing that they're not redeemable, by the way.
Not the gnolls, I'm talking about the tiefling.
Oh, the tiefling, yeah.
Okay. But we can find out as much information as possible during conversation, because as much information as you can find out during a fight, it's not as much.
I'm not keen on the parlay. I think there's no way they'll go for it.
Well, I tell you what, discuss it on the road. We've got a trail.
We're not traveling.
If this guy wants to meet us, let's go and fucking say hi.
Yeah, can we assume we just do all the burning and walking?
I just thought we were already traveling.
Yes, so you've finished collecting all the wood. You've lined up all the bodies, and Zorja actually casts create bonfire in the center to get the fire going at a reasonable heat to start spreading across the bodies. And Vorai just looks at Zorja and goes, "Damn, boy, you're learning some things." And George just goes,
Nice.
Is he a magic user? Can you do magic? That's so cool. I didn't expect that from a sellsword. I don't know why.
Dude.
Terry, you're a mercenary.
No, I'm an
Technically.
assassin. That's very different.
You stab people for money.
I don't stab people for money.
Oh, yeah, good point.
For pleasure.
People for ideals. What? he didn't mean it.
Sorry. I was thinking of something else.
I did say that.
Wow.
Wow. And on that bombshell, you
Very
okay?
scrolls off in a half.
You guys are So you've set up all the bodies, and you are back on the road. So the immediate problem you see with trying to track. Are you willing to track the footsteps of the Gnolls?
Nadia's plan was to give the cart to to Talari to drive and take Ulva and like track. Yeah.
Okay, so you see quite immediately that the path, the steps of the Gnolls purposely don't stay true to the road directions. So if the cart will be quite difficult to try and follow off the road, and you'll quite quickly soon distance yourself from the road as well by following the Gnoll tracks. Do you have a decision?
Did anybody say ambush? How far distant? Like how quickly do they diverge? Are they still heading roughly the same direction?
So you're heading north. They were heading. So these tracks head west. So to the right.
Just not at all following the road, just completely divergent.
Yeah. So from what?
Can we have a bigger map, please, so that I have some context of this? Because otherwise, I'm going to completely screw it up.
I think this is the right. This is the right map, right? Yes.
Yeah, this is the right map. I've just got to find us.
Fine. Yeah. So let's have a line that everyone can see. So say you are relative to. So say you're around here.
No, it's further along than I thought.
So, well, it takes 4 days. So you've done 1 day. So it's roughly. So you're heading north. The Gnoll tracks head this direction pretty much straight away.
Ah, fuck, really? Oh, I thought they would be at least roughly like
aligned
that way or something.
They may head that direction later on, but the immediate tracks that you're following just head in that direction to the west.
This is why we need a wizard.
Why don't I just locate creature again?
No, don't waste it. I don't think they'll be around here still.
Well, no.
But I get a general direction.
Over there, then that makes it worth our while going in that direction. We'll know roughly how close they are.
Does it take a lot out of you? Say 1 to 9.
It's hang on, wait.
Talari thinks it's worth
4.
it, then it's probably worth it.
It's a 4.
It's a 4. That's pretty. That's quite a lot out of you, you know.
It's a 4th level spell, yeah. But I've got 3 4 level slots, so.
Up to you if you think it's.
You got 3 4s in you, okay?
I've got 3 4s and 2 5s, so technically I could use, but.
If they teleport, I feel like they're nowhere near. But I mean, you could try.
But
I think it'll be good to get direction.
If it's gonna dictate which way we're gonna travel, I think it's important.
It's only in a mile, isn't it, or a kilometer or something?
But if outside of that, I think.
You still get a rough idea.
We've agreed that if it's outside of the range, we can get a general direction, but not a location.
Very
handy. And if they're moving, you know the direction they're traveling in and roughly their speed. So,
okay, all right, yeah, that's worth it then. I think that's cool.
Okay.
As long as they doesn't expend a large river.
Yes. So it won't go. So that river there.
Looks quite far, that river.
So if they're past, if they're past that, then I won't be able to track them. But
that gives us an idea as well, because if they go past the river, we know they're not in our section.
I mean, it's pretty handy because we've got this entire section.
That's a big area.
You know, so as long as they're within
Yeah,
that
but it could be
area,
worse.
yeah, exactly. I mean, that's a pretty small area in the grand scheme of things. So if I cast a spell and I don't sense them, then they're literally out of that area. So
they're not in this humongous area.
yeah,
We
exactly.
can go wherever the heck we like, really.
Basically, exactly. So even that has use to know. So
Alright.
Yeah, I reckon you should.
all right then. I'll give it a go. Cast
Okay.
locate creature. So find a gnoll.
He casts locate creature for a gnoll in your vicinity.
Mhm.
The closest gnoll to you is probably to the northwest.
Ooh, near the coast.
Sorry, northeast. Sorry, I've completely done my directions wrong.
Nice.
To be fair, you said northwest, and I was still looking in like that direction
Yeah.
anyway. So, you know,
I was confused because I was like, "What?
Well, I
just on the
said-
coast?" Like,
So I
here?
said west as well. They're traveling west as well. I know.
yeah.
Um,
So they've gone
yeah.
that way.
Yeah, so it's
the
like in the
north
north rightly direction. So if I showed, so you think maybe in this band?
Hmm.
Not within a mile, I'm guessing then. Quite
No,
far
hell
out.
no.
Okay.
Right.
Miles.
Come on, guys, never eat shredded wheat.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
say it every day.
Eat shredded wheat.
In that case, it may actually be quicker to go north and then up along the road.
Shouldn't we just stay around this general area where they've been attacking people? Because
Well, we've been attacking people all around the crossroads, so if anything, I think we should get to the crossroad.
up to this bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we can get to the crossroads and just camp out there, and then we can warn people as well if they
Yeah.
pass us.
I mean, the thing is, again, it's concentration for an hour. So if we travel for another hour, chances are by the time we reach the crossroad,
Get
it
some
might
kind of triangulation.
it might actually still be picking up their location, so
Yeah.
we can
Ding,
see
ding,
if
ding, ding. They're now south of us.
yeah, exactly. There you go. And
If
yeah,
we've
just
got big
Exactly.
trouble, it's because they would have just like TP'd
We
behind
can
us.
work out roughly where they
Yeah.
are using trigonometry.
yes, the power of trigonometry. We know it's good.
Maths, guys. Maths wins everything.
Maths wins everything. Yeah.
That's not how it works.
Totally.
Well, as long as you don't expect Nadia to do the trigonometry, you're probably alright.
Yeah, Teru's a bit effed with trigonometry as well.
I don't think any of us probably has any chance.
Yeah, who's got the highest in score?
Probably.
Why don't we have a wizard? This is ridiculous.
I don't even know who does. I think it. Yeah, no,
Might
it
be
is. It
you,
is. It is
actually.
Talari. Yeah, of a +2.
Who is the
Yeah.
smartest in the party? What's your
Talari.
intelligence?
So my int is 2 or 14, I guess, and
Skill of -5 to +5.
and wisdom is 18. So
Wow,
Look,
your
I'm
wisdom's
10.
really high.
if Turi dies, I'm making a smart character. It needs to happen. We're
we're all
lacking
dumb.
in this department, guys. Come on.
yeah.
We're
Yeah.
really dumb.
It makes for an entertaining campaign.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
That's the thing. Like Talari's
True.
smart,
It
but
does,
she's
we
not
just sort of-
worldly. That's the problem.
Yeah, we just sort of random around doing shit and it works out at the end. But
Yeah.
yes, crossroads.
Okay.
Seems like
Yeah,
a
I've just
first stop.
So I've just moved the arrows ever so slightly back to be more accurate to you.
Yeah, I was thinking that was a bit far up for
Yeah.
one quarter of the way. I thought we were closer to the customer.
Yeah. So yeah, that's more like
yeah.
it.
But yeah, if we head like north
Crossroads.
and,
Tips,
and keep an eye out, I reckon, because these roads can't be the only actual paths, especially if this area is all farmed.
Yes.
So you can keep out like our eye out for a track that goes in the same direction or whatever.
Yeah, and obviously, yeah, keeping Talari will be keeping a close eye on the ping to see if it does shift wildly, or if it starts like edging more to the side, then we know that
Trying to be sneaky, then.
like it. Obviously we're getting that at the moment, but if we get to here and it's like there, then or if it starts going there, then we'll have a better idea.
We'll have some idea, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great challenge for me as well because I need to remember or figure out where they would actually go.
You need to work out whether this is the trouble. Like, whenever I have to do that, I have like an invisible token on the map.
Oh yeah, so this may or may not be what I'm doing now.
Yeah, maybe like put an invisible gnoll on this map, like put a gnoll on the GM layer somewhere, so you know where the closest gnoll is.
Yeah.
Let's say their camp out is there.
So let the dungeon master do that.
That's a fun little spot. Okay. That'll be interesting. So you head further north on the main road. As you travel, for at least the first hour that you decide to cast a spell, for at least for the first hour, it is pretty much staying in that northwesterly direction, pretty much in that area. So even as you go further north, it's staying to the northwest. So even as you get to around here, you're staying within the northwest. Even as you probably won't, because of your speed, if you push the horses, all as in the collective 3 horses together, you might better get to the call it the little settlement, the trade settlement
The
that you've been to.
outpost.
Yeah, the outpost, that's the word. That you've been to before. If you wanted to push the horses.
No,
Might
I
be
mean,
worth it.
I think if we're closer to the outpost, it's worse because they might not attack us, and we want them to come out, don't we?
Well,
Yeah, but if the outpost
if
is
there's
full of
an
people,
arrow,
they likely attack that. If we're
They
there
attack an
to defend
outpost.
it.
It's what's the outpost again, Matt? Is it like fortified?
It's not
and
particularly
stuff,
well
or-
defended, is it?
Not massively defended, but it has definitely the most amount of people in the vicinity. So it'll have more guards there than anywhere else would.
but specifically the arrows on our back, so we could
Yeah,
be
I
bringing
don't think
trouble to
we
them.
should. Yeah, I don't think we should go. And I'd be surprised if they attacked like a whole town. That's
Yeah.
pretty.
That's
serious.
not really
It's not,
the.
not a town. It's a.
Town.
It's an outpost.
It's like if you imagine
It's like
when
an inn
when you're
with the
driving.
delusions of grandeur.
It's like when you are like driving along the country road and you see like a stall for like strawberries.
Oh, okay.
But there's just a lot. It's just like more people there.
It's a
Yeah.
service station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pit
Yes.
stop. I think, like Turi
Service
said, though,
station.
that if they're after us and they know we're around, let's not put others in
Well,
danger.
I don't think it's worth it. We've already brought enough trouble to a bunch of other travelers.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Mm.
yeah. Let's just set up camp, I guess, and then we can.
So you're happy to set up camp before you hit the outpost.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that's what you guys think is best.
Yep.
Just think it's a risk to other people, not us.
Yeah, but they're at risk already.
I think it's less likely they'll attack an outpost unless they're trying to get our attention, but they know they've already got our attention.
I mean, they could have attacked the outpost at any point, right? While we've been setting out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think if they're doing it based on the travelers, then they don't want to overexert whatever numbers they have.
Mm. Okay.
Okay, so in terms of distancing, you're probably about an hour rides away, maybe an hour and a half ride away from the outpost. For reference. So if we could put you guys here. So where on the off the road would you like to set up your camp?
Just stuff on the side. I was thinking
Probably
like off the
there's
road,
like just somewhere that we can obviously easily.
A clearing or
just like
something.
a clearing.
I mean,
Or
we're
is
kind of
that
hoping
there?
to be attacked, aren't we? So we don't.
Yeah, I suppose so. So something like so probably like maybe like here or here. That's got a nice kind of
A relatively open bit.
yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, let's go with.
We should
here.
just make a sign saying JC over here.
Yeah,
No,
change of tactics.
no,
No longer
that's-
want to hide.
Can we just shoot up anything in the sky to try?
Oh my god.
the strength of overly
draw
obvious.
some attention.
Turi can actually do some smoke signals. I'm just saying.
She
Can
do
you can
smoke
if you
signals.
can skywrite like just go JC,
I think.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think that'll work somehow.
It feels a little too obvious. You know what I mean?
Oh, J and C are like very connected like swoops, aren't they? So you could it's not like it's
Yeah, I
complicated like a
don't think
G
that
or
one's
something.
gonna fly.
Okay. Well, that's okay.
Matt, what's the I know I've done this once before. What's the penalty if I sleep in armor? Do I get exhausted?
Your level of exhaustion.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
pretty
you
bad.
don't actually
worth
sleep.
it.
Yeah,
Mm.
you can't gain the benefit of a long rest.
Has anyone got something to
I've
actually
seen the
make me
poster
go
trailer, one of those like magic posters that move, and it showed this guy like donning this armor in 3 seconds, like this armor just shot onto him. You should totally get something like that.
I will. I'll try, yeah, because it takes me a long time to put this on.
I think I saw it in Moradin City. It was a really cool poster thing. It kept moving.
Ooh. Maybe when we go
Probably
to
illusion
Vesuvia,
magic.
we can try and find something. Talari, you don't have anything that can just make me go to sleep.
My fist.
Yeah.
She can be very restful.
I was gonna say, like, short of knocking you out, not really, no.
Metho also cracks knuckles. Like,
I don't think that'd be very restful.
No.
Getting knocked on the head is
Metho
not
down, boy. Down, Metho. Down.
You gotta lose some teeth as well.
Alright, I'll
just take your plate armor off. Get up a half an hour early to put it all back on again.
Look, Krusk, if we get attacked and you're not wearing your armor, I will give you the potion of growth.
Of growth, did you say?
Why do you have a potion of growth?
Potion of growth.
Big boy Krusk.
So
you gain enlarge effect for 1d4 hours.
look, it will help you be all big and mighty and scary to them, hopefully.
I don't know if I want a giant version of Krusk running around in his loincloth.
Okay, well maybe a giant version of you instead. I'm not sure. Look, I bought the potion of
giant version of me.
the potion of
Give
growth.
it to City.
Oh my god!
I am not giving it to Sooty.
Yes.
If you promise me Sooty fights with us instead of just staying on the fucking
he needs-
sidelines, then I will give it to Sooty.
If I can get him like some magic armor or something that we can put on him when he grows.
Oh my Christ, no! Oh my gods, no!
I mean, giving it
like a saber tooth.
Why don't you not just give it to Ulva then?
Oh yeah.
Ulva's got the armor.
Yeah.
It's actually a good idea.
I don't know if she'll. I don't know. It's for humanoids, okay? I don't know what it would do to Ulva. It may explode her.
Don't explode Ulva. I don't think she would want to be exploded. I would not want her to be exploded.
Look, my
Give it to the
thinking
horse.
was.
Give it to the horse.
It doesn't matter if it dies. I don't care.
It does. It matters.
That horse has hauled your ass across half the world, and you're still being dickhead to
I
it.
still don't like it.
No, I'm with you,
You're
Thoradin.
still being a dickhead. You are an ungrateful man.
Horse is not a member of the JC.
Wow.
It tried to kill me.
I think if anything,
tried to attack me.
the horse is an OG. For
It's
the
allowed to
JC.
punch you back.
The horse
I'll
has
never
been
get
here a
over
long
that event.
Traumatized Thoradin.
Yeah.
Technically,
Am I
Krusk,
being
the
loud?
horse is older than version 3 of you.
Okay.
Age has nothing to do with membership of the JC.
But that's what I mean. The horse has been with the JC longer than version 3 of you.
JC, but he's not been with the JC.
He's hauled your ass across half the world.
He's contributed more than Sooty has. I'm just saying.
City got out of that maze.
Yeah, City pulled through for us in the maze.
Sooty, I'm not saying Sooty hasn't contributed. I'm saying the horse has contributed more.
I don't know. Thoradin could replace the horse now. So.
Wow.
I'm not getting on all fours for you, Krusk.
Okay, again with the bromance thing. Just go fuck somewhere already. God.
What she said. Preferably nowhere I can see you.
Yeah, agreed.
And also when we're not hunting demons.
You know, like in Hercules at the start where he just pulls the card?
Oh my god.
You could blame Thoradin for that one.
Oh my word. Dear me.
I'm gonna go sit with the cell swords for fuck's sake. This is ridiculous.
So no, I don't have a way to make you sleep, Krusk.
Sorry, I'll just take off my arms.
Okay.
Look, I bought the potion of growth because it seemed like something that could be very useful for our two big, strong people to be even bigger and even stronger in certain situations, like a mass army of Gnolls attacking us. Hopefully, you could take out multiple.
Taller than me.
Wow.
Yeah, I think you should give it to me. Big ass Thoradin.
If you
Scary.
if you grow in size,
muscles.
if you grow in size, does your berserkers grow in size?
No,
I wish.
I
That
don't
would
think
be
that's how it
amazing.
works.
Terry, if I
Blow out a
drink this
tiny horn
potion,
there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
if I drink this potion, will my axe also grow, or will I be giant and have like a
I
tiny
think
little axe?
everything you're wielding grows.
Good.
Let me double check that. It's
What if I wield Sooty? Will it grow with me? No. I
What,
don't
by
know.
the
I
back
said
legs?
That's just
That would
Thoradin's
work.
intelligence there.
I'm gonna look into this thing of City potentially joining the fight if
Oh
we
my
can like
God.
amp him up. But something for Mistress City.
She's a little cat. I don't think she's
Look,
not
she's good
particularly
for
suited.
sneaking and she's good for finding things. Right.
Yeah,
okay.
the target's weapon also grow to match with its new size.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank
So your
goodness for
weapon
that.
grows with size. You get an.
On the
Oh,
downside, I would then have to bend in half to hit anybody.
well, you could just do a big old swing.
Yeah, just swing. Yeah, like a golf club, isn't it? Yeah, just swing it.
Edge kick. Yeah. I'm just saying it. Don't know if the advantage is like.
I think the IC advantage makes you stronger, or something when you get
Yeah,
you get
I
stronger,
see. You get advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws, and your weapons growing to match your size mean they all deal an extra 1d4 damage. Which, if you do brutal crit, that's an extra bit of help there.
Although, like a lot of that is useless because a barbarian can rage and get.
That's why I said I'd give it to Krusk.
Would I have double advantage?
It would be helpful for me, yeah. If you can, or you can take it, Terry. Make you do more damage
We'll
because
see what comes up.
yeah.
I mean, that's a
Good target
1d4 for your weapons, yeah. Your weapons are your fists, and if you do flurry of blows, that's an extra d4 for every one of those punches.
It's a lot of damage
That
if
point.
you enlarge yourself, yeah.
God,
On the other
giant
hand,
furry.
you would have to bend double and be like.
Oh, I'd wreck my dress though.
I mean, everything grows with you.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm 100% joking.
You don't have like a
Just
whole
She-Hulk.
dress.
She-Hulk out of your
Miraculously still wearing your underpants.
Yeah, always.
Also, I think Arthur, you'll be the one. You might end up just going directly for the tiefling guy because you can just kind of like zip over.
Yeah,
That's true.
Probably gonna
zip
need
over.
it.
No, that's a good point. I could do a speed play. So
Yeah,
I could
enlarge,
just go
zip
straight for him.
over, smash him, zip back. Sorted.
My speed doesn't increase, does it?
No,
No.
doesn't.
But luckily, I don't think it decreases either, which is good.
So I'm going to be a jacked up, buffering speed, poor frame rate. Sonic the Hedgehog. I love it.
Okay, are we going to do anything? We're not going to do the hut plan if they're after us, are we? Or
well, if anything, we're better to keep in the open. But I think if we could hide anyone, we should hide Method and the Sellswords. They haven't seen them yet.
That's a good idea. Yep.
That's true. Although, Talari, how much does it, like magic-wise, does it cost you to know if there's magic around?
Oh, no, not very much.
Can you check to see if there's magic around, to see if someone's looking at us again?
Yeah, that's number 3 again. The same as when I spoke to the, guard. Right.
You're gonna get your.
No, that's dispel magic. I don't think I have detect magic anymore. I'd have to do that tomorrow.
I just figured that.
But if
it was worth checking.
Yeah, if I could. Where is it?
It's a ritual, so I think you can.
So you could do it if you took the time, and we have got ages.
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
Krusk is gonna go to bed, by the way, because he wants to get up as early as possible and put on his armor. Or if the camp's not set up yet, then as soon as the camp is set up.
Sorry. Detect magic is level 1, so that's like if I do a switch out.
Turi follows Krusk into his tent.
Oh.
Hi, Turi. I was just about to get ready for bed.
Not in that way, and just like shuts the tent.
Well, big signals.
What's going on here, Turi?
Look, I did some very bad shit in the past. I've been trying to work on it. You weren't quite you. Now you're you again. You're kind of my moral compass.
Yep. What
We're the
what help
reason.
you, Terry? I'm surprised. Yeah. Tell
We're
me.
the reason all of these people are being attacked. If it's not Bane sending them because of what we're doing, is it because of our reputation? Are we inviting challenge? I feel like if we're the reason for this, we've caused more damage than good.
Mm. The thought it did occur to me when Talari found out that they were here looking for us, but I think we can't think like that. Like that. I mean, you know, who knows what else could have happened if it wasn't for all the evils we've put a stop to, and there's still more to uncover, which you know we seem to be the only ones who are really looking into this with all the gods. I mean, the fault lies solely with the person who sent the tiefling to do all this. I think we couldn't have known. I wouldn't put that burden on ourselves.
Thanks, Krusk. Get some fucking quick speed armor to put on, because this whole thing's ridiculous. Open stones.
Okay. Yeah, I think in Mistress City I'm gonna have a look for quick armor applications.
Please do.
Harry doesn't want you getting stabbed again.
She's not a fan of Dead Krusk. She's not a fan of Krusk 4.0.
No, that'll be the end of Krusk.
Yeah, so you've set up your camp. The usual, almost habitual trappings that you set up. You still do your tiny huts as per normal, but again, like last time, you all can't fit in the hut, but you can all be in there to once it's first cast, you can pass through quite easily.
I think. Sorry, I think we should stay outside, right? Because we want them to come to us. Other than
just to allow us to
Thoradin has
go
to
in
stay.
and out.
Thoradin has to stay inside because he's the caster.
Yes.
I'll be with all the big boys.
Yeah, but the rest
You're
of us.
very muscly for two cell swords and a mage person. It's good. Good. Turi just like.
Turi's wedged in the middle because she's smaller.
Well, we're two cell swords. Me, myself, and Zorja, and then Methor. Are you a cell sword? Methor is what Methor does.
It's wise words,
It's
Methor.
weirdly poetic.
Methor Methers because Methor.
Okay, it just went downhill.
Don't say too much.
Keep to the first one. I can barely raise a hand. Are we done yet?
Yeah. So yeah.
Do we want to cast locate creature again, or we turn in?
I think this time save your spells.
Oh, I'm gonna rest, aren't I? I'm gonna.
I'd like to know if they're heading this way. I'm paranoid they're going to attack that outpost.
The outpost?
We could at least see if they're closer.
Yeah, go on then. But I'd be very shocked if they attack the outpost.
Okay, I just worry because if you rest, you don't get the full one. Do you get anything back?
No.
Well, let's hope they don't attack in a couple of hours.
Shall I not do it?
Well, you can if all night.
Yeah,
I reckon it's worth it, but they're your spells, and it depends why they're attacking people.
It's your 3/4, you know.
Like, they're a big group. They've got shock on their side. Most of the people in that outpost are not warriors. This isn't two like groups of fighters clashing. It's one group of raiders versus one group of travelers. Like, that group back there was 2 guards and 8 other people.
Yeah.
That's 2 people who know their way around a fight. Everybody else is just running around screaming.
I agree, but if their goal was the outpost, why mention TJC? Why be smug when he saw me?
Told you it could be someone's initials.
It depends what they're trying to do. If they are after us, then what better way to piss us off? If they're not after us and they're after either getting people to hate us because they're doing this and because we're here, then the more people, the better. You know, the
Good
more
They wouldn't because they kill everyone, so there's no one to tell others
You found
that it was
survivors.
seriously. Sorry?
There've been survivors.
they don't.
Oh, there have been
kill
survivors. Sorry. Okay.
That's how we found out about them in the first place.
Nobody else mentioned us though, did they?
They didn't mention us, but we knew that they were doing. Why are we here right now? It's because people told us that there were Gnolls attacking all the caravans coming down from this city.
Hmm.
So they obviously know us very well.
So
Maybe it's another buddy of Aloysius.
Oh god,
Oh,
this
I
guy.
forgot that guy.
He never goes away. We
Oh,
need
good
to.
point. Actually, no, that's a really good point. If they know us, they know what we're like.
They definitely know. That was what I was
If
saying
it were
earlier, right?
me,
They did
yeah,
this to
that
lure
would
us
piss
out.
me off the most to
they're
kill the
either
outpost.
raiding all the travelers in order to draw us out, or raiding all the travelers because they want us and they're quite happy to take everybody else that they can get their hands on as well. But if they're trying to either draw us out, piss us off, or ruin our reputation, attacking the outpost makes perfect.
We're already drawn out. It doesn't make sense that they'd go after an outpost. And
Well,
they could have already
unless
gone after it, right?
Well,
unless
have
this
already
is
gone after it,
personal,
yeah.
and if
also,
it's personal, you piss them off as
Mm.
much as you want. So I agree. Actually, yeah, I agree with Nadia. That's a good point.
Well, you think
If
they're
I
just
was
like
trying,
tormenting us?
well,
with
if they're just
killing
trying to
people?
torment us, that's what I would do.
I
If
mean,
I found someone who was trying to save people, I'd kill a bunch of people.
anger makes you sloppy. I've seen it plenty of times in the arena.
Hmm.
It's a valid tactic that a lot of people have used when fighting someone stronger than them.
Immediately, I look at Thoradin and Nadia, and I'm like, really?
It can make you sloppy. There's a difference between controlled rage and uncontrolled rage. If they
For sheer destructive power, you can't answer, right? For fucking tactics, I'm useless.
Good point.
I think we
So
should
if
see it
you-
out tonight and see what happens. I don't think they'll go for the outpost.
I will save the locate. I'll do it tomorrow after my shift.
And
tomorrow.
wake
But
up.
my shift, I can't remember now. Is Talari I can never remember. Is Turi the first shift or the second shift?
You're the. Wait. I
Fury
think
gets the darkest.
I get the darkest part.
You
of
get the
night,
darkest
so I'm-
part, but which one is the darkest part?
Yeah, I can't
Second
remember
half.
if it's.
I think it's the
me
first.
first or you
Is it the
first.
first half? Because the second half's got the day sunrise.
dawn.
So we're waking up early, right? We're waking up before dawn. If that
It doesn't really matter. You
makes a
can go in
difference,
whichever
so-
order you please.
So
Yeah.
because in theory, if Talari goes second, she would have gotten her rest. So on her shift, she would have all her slots.
I think based on this plan, I would rather Talari went first.
You can always swap it. Yeah, if Talari goes first,
So
rest.
Talari, so
then
car
check where they are.
rest and
Yeah, you
You
rest,
rest
then you
first.
check
rest,
where they
and then
are.
yeah. So I take the first rest. So you're taking first watch,
Yeah, I'm taking first watch.
and then as soon as I get up for my watch, I cast.
You do the spell, yeah.
And I can cast that while we're doing the handover as well. So it's not like I'm just talking to nobody.
Yeah, and then if everything's good, I can go to sleep. If not, I'll
Yeah.
wake people. Because I'm, I haven't really spent anything. I'm good.
All right, we'll
I'll
do
just be
that.
tired as F.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And it's probably worth. I know we never wrote it down, but there is a. We should probably write it down. I know there's a thing we've done for the 8 hours where we do double shifts, so we always have 2 of us awake, mostly for when I know if we got a high chance of being ambushed. So I think we'll probably end up.
The cell swords will happily help out.
But they're in the hut.
They can
They
still
can
leave the
Still
hut.
see,
Only
That's
Thoradin
fair.
can't leave the
But
hut.
we don't want them to leave though. That's the point. We want them to stay
But-
hidden.
but they
But
can
they
they
can
can
see
see
out.
out of the hut.
You just
Can
can't
you-
see it.
So that
Can you hear out the hut as well? I assume you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they could keep watch from inside the hut then.
so they can watch from inside the hut.
Yeah. All right.
Fine.
That's fine then. Yeah. All right.
I
Okay.
pick Sorag.
What did you say, sorry?
I pick Sorag as my watch buddy.
Oh, okay.
Vorag.
Sorry, Vorag.
Oh, they're definitely not going to join us
Vorag.
now.
Vorag.
I guess I can soldier then.
I'm really sorry. I'm terrible with names. My good first 200 years, I wasn't expected to learn any names.
Well, didn't you have to know their names so you knew who you were targeting? Or?
Oh no, 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 no. You got like a description. You very rarely got names actually.
That
You
make
only
him.
really got names if you had to investigate.
What if there were
Particularly.
two similar-looking people? How
Yeah.
would you know?
One of
That's-
them's twins,
That
goddammit!
gets, yeah. That. What about? Yeah.
What the dead?
What if you had like twins or something? Like
There's
that's.
something. I mean, twins is a whole
me into my
different
sleep.
story because think about it this way: if you're dealing with twins, I'm an assassin. I'm not going to go, "Hey, what's your name? What's your name?" Stab. When's that going to happen? So you just kind of have to accept
What, kill them
the
both?
risk and do some clues.
Well, 50-50.
No,
You just take a
no, no, no.
50-50.
Did you kill the guy? Maybe.
No. Well,
I killed one of them.
think of
It
it
matches
this
the
way.
description. End of.
Think of it this way. The way you get your mark is that they have assumedly wronged someone. A life contract has been written up. It tells you what they did, who they did it to, the description, what they look like. All you've got to find out is from there. If you write down a name on paper, it creates a trail. That's a bit.
Writing down all the rest of that stuff don't count then.
No, well, think about it this way. The rest of that stuff, it could be anyone if no one's particularly named. It's not necessarily specific, but you know it's specific because it's your town, and you know who they did it to. But that's a verbal thing, and not a, hey, this person's name is on the piece of paper. Do you get me? Do you
No.
not get me?
No.
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 Hey, if it works, it works.
It worked at the time. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's the perfect plan, but it's all I knew.
The
Fair
upshot being that you're bad at names. I'm bad at names and I don't have that excuse.
I mean, you're already lucky that I remember all of your names, to be honest.
I'll be very
Just
upset,
saying.
Terry, if you ever forget my name, just so you know.
Yeah, it's okay, Cork. I mean, Crust. I'm joking.
Alright then.
Alright, yeah, in for the night?
Yeah.
Hey. So, immediately, nothing happens.
Oh, for God's sake.
Excellent. Thanks for that. Cheers. I just had a heart attack. Cool.
I was about to say, I think you had us going there.
Your face is oh well. Sorry, apologies. So yeah, so the first portion of the night is relatively quiet. The night wind coming in, it's pretty chill. There is the start of a storm brewing to the south that maybe not by the morning, maybe by mid morning or maybe midday, it'll probably be where you are right now. The still plenty of like nature that's around you, normal buzzing and creatures that you feel. And then so that's your first watch. Is calm, quiet, relatively peaceful as you can get, while on edge, hoping not to be ambushed by something.
So then, Talari can long rest technically.
Yes.
Because the first watch is done.
So, Vorak, do you ever think of doing something after all that you've made all the money? Like, after you've killed all the things?
Well, it's once you slayed your last thing, you never know if it's going to be your last thing. So you just want to know, is this my last thing? And then I'll be happy.
Yeah, but do you do like is there a tipping point for you? Hey, I've made this much money. I have a manor house. I have a castle, wife, kids, family, farm. I don't know. Do you have an end game?
This is all the end game now. Life is the end game. For as long as I live, that's all that matters. Have a drink, have a whiskey, drink, have sex, have fun, If I die, I die. If I live, I live. No point resting on those laurels.
I like you a lot. Just puts a fist bump into the hut.
You get a very weak one back, though.
I'll
You're not
take
too
it.
bad.
Hey, Talari, you can wake up now.
Oh, yes. Alright. I guess we do the thing.
Worth checking.
Right. Okay, creature.
Hey, Vorgan, don't go to sleep yet. I'm just fucking with you, Vorag, I know.
I just paid you a compliment, man. Come on.
Sorry, can't help it.
Alright, she's cast locate creature for a Gnoll.
Okay. The closest Gnoll to you is traveling directly towards you. Probably at the same pace that you've had before, where it's like a steady
marching pace, yeah.
forced march. They're definitely not close enough for you to think they're within 1,000 feet, but they're certainly it's not direct. It's not like they're running directly towards you, but with from where they were to the northeast. Sorry, they're now basically as east as they've ever been in relation to you, and they're heading in the westerly direction. So they're still somewhat north, but still coming to you from east to west.
Right. They're not directly at us, though. So they're going to be, if they were still going on, they'd still be above us. So they're kind of if we're here, they're just going like this.
Can we have some more arrows, please, GM?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. So previously, they were within this northeasterly direction, around there somewhere. They are now more like here, in this directly easterly direction.
Right.
So they've come more south than they were before, and for pace to come in.
They're coming towards the coast. Our coast.
Yes.
Where is the outpost? Where is the outpost in relation to where we are now?
It's the black
north.
Is that black dot?
It's about an hour and a half north of you, by a car.
So it sounds like they're either coming for us or they're going for that outpost.
One or the other. Hour and a half away. Matt, if I do a short rest instead of a long rest, do I still get exhaustion?
Yeah, because you wouldn't have long rested within a 24-hour period. Which is the.
So if it's over 1,000 feet away, how long are they? Probably not that. It won't take that long.
Right. Okay. If you want to figure out actual, try and actually ascertain real proximity. Roll an intelligence check, please. If you want to try and piece together, because then I can gauge what your analysis is giving you.
It's an 8.
Okay. So 1,000 feet is about 300 meters. So it's actually pretty close, relatively speaking, in terms of distances.
Yeah, it's not that far.
It's not that far.
I thought it was a mile earlier, which would have been more helpful, but yeah.
No, very not. So they're definitely not within that range.
No.
You would likely be able to hear their panting, definitely footsteps from that distance away at the speed that they're traveling, because they certainly aren't trying to be careful. There's not a care in the world, basically.
Yeah.
They're definitely heading in your direction, but slightly north of you. If you think back to the previous night when you did a similar thing, they were basically the way that they felt like they were traveling was from east to west from a straight line. So they went down, felt like they went down a bit, and then they went straight across. Like they're trying to do like a zigzag pattern to try and gauge where they want to attack potentially. And once they know where they're going to go, they're going to slow down, actually be more careful.
So they're kind of so in that sense, then they're more likely in search mode rather than going for anything specifically. If they're going at that forced march that they were doing before.
Yeah, this is get somewhere. This isn't.
So they
okay.
Yeah. So they are then basically, by the sounds of it, either coming directly to us or they're going directly to the outpost. But because they are north of us, there's probably a good chance that they're going to the outpost.
Could be in between. It's
or in between, yeah. So,
from yesterday, they most likely were able to surround or get behind the people camping, and they were able to like come down once they hit the road. Potentially, they were able to then come south, looking for someone to hit.
Yeah.
Good. So they're doing one or two things. They're either preparing an ambush for us, or they're going to the outpost to prepare an ambush. That's great.
Yeah. Or they're preparing an ambush for some other bugger who's just camping on the road.
I mean, one question or one thing we could potentially do, and this, we'll do this. I'll do this IC with Turi is
But like you get half hour of awake time during a long rest, or
an
hour of awake time during a long rest.
Okay.
So like other people can be awake and be part of the discussion.
I think
Okay, so
in that case,
we're
then
all
we'll wake up the JC. We were probably not the sellswords or Methyl.
Warwick's still there just because he's still up.
Yeah. And then I'll relay that basically to the group that they're to the east of us, but slightly slightly north, coming towards the west. So they're either likely coming for us or to the outpost or something in between.
Matt.
Hello.
There isn't any high ground around here, is there?
Not particularly. It's pretty flat because it's farmland.
Curry can fucking fly, and at this distance.
But the problem is well, there is slightly, because tieflings can see in the dark and will see Turi.
If they happen to be looking at that one particular patch of sky.
I mean, the sky is pretty open. Like
storm is forming in the south, so
darkness, you can't sight into dark. If darkness isn't light, is it? You can't center it on an object. It's just a space, right?
Besides,
you mean the spell darkness?
The spell darkness.
Yeah. Around a blob of blackness would attract even
But
more.
not at night time. Not at night time.
It will be darker than the rest
of
the night.
It says a point you choose within range, so I think you just pick a.
Yeah, so you pick a point, doesn't move.
It will still be darker than the rest of the night.
Oh no, Sonny. It says if you choose an object, it emanates from the object and moves with it. So you could do that.
Yeah, but you've gone from a drow-shaped flying thing to a blackness flying.
It'll just be black on a black sky.
It does act as a light, basically. So if you cover it with an opaque object, it conceals it.
Okay.
What, for the spell darkness?
Yeah.
So if you
I
cast it,
emanates from the point.
I always picture it like black mist, but that's just me.
Right.
I'm just saying the sky isn't actually as dark as you might think it is.
Yeah.
It's full of stars and shit.
I suppose.
There is a storm, and we're ages away. Even if they see her, if they're not already on their way here, if they turn around and come here, great, we've got them.
The thing is, we want them to come here. We ideally want them to know we're here. Yeah.
If they don't see her, they don't turn around and come here, she can work out which direction they're going, because 20 jogging Gnolls is going to create, I think, a fair amount of movement.
So if she goes there and
just straight up,
find it, one, obviously see which way they're moving, but also if she does get spotted or accidentally spotted, she could lead them
exactly
right to us. Yeah.
Also, I'm not saying go towards them and go and find them. I'm just saying go up. because
enough
you'll
to
be
know
able
where
to
they're
see
going.
them against the flat land. They're going to be the only large moving thing in this
I don't know
entire
if
farmland.
I don't know if Gnolls can see in the dark, but
The tiefling
they may
can.
need yes, but
And
if the
how
Gnolls
many
need
of them, even if they can see in the dark, how many of them on a night march are going to be jogging along like this? Because I can tell you where I'm looking when I'm walking along in the dark, and it ain't at the sky.
could be a good way forward.
If they see you, you should cast dancing lights or something to get them over here.
The only problem is not the rest of you haven't had a proper, sleep.
That is true.
They're ages away. It'll take them a while to get here.
Well, we need 4 hours more, I think, right? Or how many more hours of
4
sleep
hours
do we
more.
need? 4 hours. Okay.
Yeah, we're halfway through.
I'm just saying, it'd work.
I mean, I think it's better to attract them towards us, even if and know that they're coming, even if we're tired. Because
jumped out on.
I was thinking otherwise they might keep going around looking for us. We keep missing them. They keep killing other people while they're trying to find us. Like we really do want them to just come straight to us.
Yeah, we want them. I reckon it's worth the risk.
Out of character, exhaustion level 1 isn't too bad in combat.
It's ability checks, right? I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So we could fight. It's not ideal, but we
Also,
could
if we
fight
shank
while
a
exhausted.
lot of them, we can also go up the road to the outpost and have a nap. You don't immediately. It's not like the sun. It's not like dawn breaks. You immediately get a level of exhaustion.
No, so
Well,
24
actually,
hours.
no,
So if you make it to the
when
morning without a rest, then you will get
Well-
an exhaustion. You won't get an exhaustion during the fight at night.
Okay, so basically, at dawn we'll get
Yeah,
exhausted.
so it's basically if you go 24 hours without rest,
Okay.
then
Which is when we were going to wake up anyway, so we shouldn't be exhausted either way
We
then.
have had a short rest anyway, which I reckon ought to help. Probably doesn't actually.
Probably doesn't really. You
No.
haven't really lost any HP, so
Even in real life,
It make
right?
you
resting-
feel better IRL, but not icy, but not necessarily mechanically.
Yeah, even in real life, right? You need to have a proper sleep. You can't just like.
Oh yeah, but
Can't
even
nappy way.
if you've only had 4 hours sleep, that's better than having no sleep at all.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
don't know. I feel pretty bad after.
yeah. I mean, to be fair, I think we're all right. We haven't really used anything. Like the only one who had was Talari, and she's rested,
She's had her rest.
so she's fine. So
I think we should be okay. So yeah, Turi, if you could draw attention to yourself, that would be actually pretty great.
Well, just see where they're going. They might be coming our way anyway.
If they're not, draw attention to yourself, please.
If they know they're being lured, they might not come.
I suppose that's down to Turi's acting, I guess.
I'm just saying.
Can you just make it look like you accidentally shoot off a spell or something, Turi? Like, oh no, what are these lights? Oh, how do I turn them off?
Powers of deception never fail.
Or just pretend that you're still looking and you haven't found them yet, and then you return.
Yeah, just pretend you're like admiring the stars or something. I trust in Turi. She can do it. She'll find a way to do it.
Yeah, somehow.
She's got to find them yet.
Turi will fly up and look out.
Okay. That's fine. So, Turygurtha, you kick on your winged boots and head up. How far up do you want to go?
How much it takes.
You're okay. You're now in orbit. The air is escaping your lungs.
No, you passed that way before then.
That's true, yeah.
Very true.
How long do you have on your wing boots? You have 2 hours. Okay. We'll say you got at least 20 minutes up and around.
To be fair, 20 minutes going straight up with Turi's speed is a staggering amount.
Quite a way up, yeah.
Like a spiral. I'll say it's like a spiral up. So you don't go as high, but you're able to like cover a bit more. One thing that you do notice is a fast traveling something moving west. Moving west. Moving west. Fast traveling moving pack of something moving west. they seem to be able to, from what you can tell from a distance, is that they seem to be able to jump over fences, like the little irrigation areas. Like they're leaving they're trying to stick to the pathways of the farmland as much as possible. So like the tracts of land that are like not farmed because of they need it for like wagons and stuff to travel along, or like the plow lines for that like oxen and stuff make when they do that. So they're trying to make as little disruption in the ground as possible, so it's more the well-tracked roads. But they are heading to the east. Sorry, west.
West.
God damn it.
West. Does it
God damn
look like
God
does it look like they're going to the outpost, or
It looks like that they'll likely hit the road first before they hit the outpost.
I
If
get
they
ahead of us,
continue,
maybe.
if they continue straight, they'll likely hit the road first, and then so either head north to the outpost or probably south, aiming for somebody to ambush.
You know,
south.
probably they don't know exactly where we are along the road, right? So they just know we're roughly along this stretch.
Yeah.
Dancing lights,
and how long do I think they have until they get here?
You think at their current pace, they probably take about another 2.5 hours, maybe, to hit the road. That's assuming that they currently go at their current pace. They may slow down. They probably won't be able to speed up, but at their current pace, they're maybe about 2.5 hours. They better hit the road.
We can't finish our rest. But if we can't finish the rest, it's in our interest to fight them as soon as possible, so
yeah,
that we don't hit the exhaustion.
Turi like dives down and then relays that to the group and asks, like, do we want to aim for them or head up the road to try and meet them?
to be fair, that's probably the better method, is to go meet them.
Yeah,
because I think if we wait for them to come to the road, and then whether they decide to go up or down, either way, we're most likely going to hit that exhaustion point.
Also, if they decide to go up, we're in
even more of an issue.
So
yeah,
I think we go meet them. Yeah,
and then we can set up. We know which way they're traveling. We could set up an ambush point. We don't have to go like directly to them. If we like set up here,
yeah, if we've got time, if we can like,
if we can set up here or something, then or whatever.
Yeah.
Then that might give us.
We should be able to get like an intercept point and have time to at least do some stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might be our best bet.
That's hustle. Give me 10 minutes. I need to put on my armor.
them going after somebody else.
Well, this is it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get to them before they get to someone. Yeah. Whether that's us or somebody else. Yeah. But yeah, that makes sense. The question is whether we'd want to head straight for them, or we want to go ahead of them and set up an ambush point.
I personally think we should go straight for them, just because if we go somewhere and then they decide for whatever reason to like go somewhere else or change direction, then we'll just be sitting there waiting for them. I think let's just go meet them.
Yeah, I agree. I think best to go straight for them and not dilly dally.
When Turi
got AOE and sorry, go on.
Well, I was going to say that's kind of what I was going to get to. Like when Turi was there. Actually, no, I can ask you. When you were looking at them, were they in like an army formation, like like tightly packed, like that, or were they just kind of like en masse running in a direction?
They were too far to tell specifically, but they took all the paths and all the crevices made by the farmlands. So they're in some kind of formation, but possibly not the whole one. I'm not sure.
If they're close, I'll just fireball.
This is the thing. If they are in like I don't know, like a 3x5 or whatever 3x4 little box, all moving in sequence, and yes, a fireball would probably be the most effective way to at least thin their numbers fairly often the offset.
Yep. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, if I see them close together.
I can't really prepare much because all my spells glow very brightly. So there's nothing I can really do.
If there is a big demon guy who ends up being among them, I've got a big spell I can drop which does radiant damage. So I'll try and keep. Well, if he's there, I'll drop that on him.
Got to remember to put yeah, that's fine. No problem. Yeah. So then we'll might as well collect our things and don't know who wants to wake up to sell swords, but
I'll wake them up. I'll talk to them. Bye, Arthur.
What I could also do, as we sort of get closer, or after we've head off, I could, in theory, I mean, I've just used one though. I could use another locate creature to pinpoint where they are. So if they move direction, as Nadia sort of mentioned, at least we'll know straight away. Depends whether it's worth it or not.
Roughly where they are. It's probably better to get Tiri to do the scouting.
Okay.
Yeah, I think let's send Tiri up so you're not using spells.
They know we're coming.
Okay, that's fine. Just putting the option out there.
Good idea, but I think conserve your spells.
They're probably going to notice we're coming anyway at some point.
We'll all be on equal footing then, because we all know that each other's coming.
They'll know we're there.
Yep.
And probably half the forest is going to know we're fighting as soon as it starts. So.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, it's going to get noisy once we actually start.
And I have a brightly glowing axe.
I mean, who knows? Maybe the outpost will come to help if we're close enough. If they've got guards.
Like I say, it's full of travellers and traders and things. So they're gonna bar the gates and wait.
That's fine. We don't want them needlessly risking themselves.
True.
Especially if we're dropping fireballs and stuff. We don't want them getting into the mix.
With a load of civilians hanging around is a pain in the ass.
If they had any, I kind of meant if they had any kind of guard regiment there, but
the guards will stay to guard the people they've been hired to guard.
Makes sense. All right then, I suppose better late than never. I'm rested, but I can tell by the sleepiness in your eyes.
I've just been kicked out of bed. Yeah. Or whatever. Yeah. There's nothing to wake you up like an enemy trying to eat your face.
It's very, very true. Yes, it would.
All right, guys, let's. We're losing time here. Let's go. Let's go. Got a double time over.
All right.
Okay. So you move. So you gather at the camp. It will be difficult to move the cart in a interception route to try and meet these people. Are you happy and willing to leave the cart and the horses where they are?
Probably the best idea because we don't want them in the middle of a fight either, especially if we're throwing fireballs around.
Probably just off the road, obviously, but well, we're off the road anyway, aren't we? So
you put in your same camp.
Need them sort of roughly tethered in the campsite.
Yeah. So then, I don't see why not.
Yep.
Okay. We have nothing valuable in the wagon anyway.
Yeah, a load of tents or whatever, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's fine. A valuable thing.
Yeah, especially those horseshoes. So that's fine. So
your horse knows how to take care of herself.
That's true. It does. From what you've seen with it trying to tackle on Thoradin, it certainly does. So you can pack up your camp as best you can, and leave the 3 horses together, as best as you deem. So you give them escape routes if they need to run, but also that they're not going to wander aimlessly if they don't have to. And start making your way northeast trying to get on an intercept course with these Gnolls. Next time on the Ascendant Lands, what will happen? What does a surprised Gnoll react like when it's surprised? Who knows? Next time on the Ascendant Lands, we'll find out.